Well, greetings, good day, good morning, good evening, Blade fans, whenever it is that you're watching this. So this old sword is with you once again. And for the first time in a little while, I've got a new Maxace on the table. I'm going to show you this nice sturdy box that it comes in first. And then we're going to do a quick flip here and show you the end tag. And yes, this is something called the Orion model M23A. And there's an A and a B and a C maybe, and they all have different configurations. I'll make sure you have the links. This was purchased directly from White Mountain Knives, where you can get 10% off with my discount code HOLDSWORD. Thank you, Justin, for getting this out to me. And this, yes, was my purchase. This was not provided for review by Maxace. I think they've only provided me with one or two knives in the past for review. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing any more, but I guess I need to be a bigger channel. It's coming slow but sure. Let's talk about the knife, shall we? This one is called the Orion. I'm going to show you a few other Maxace knives for comparison. This is really a nice, clean titanium beauty with this really nice, I would call it a Bowie blade. Look at that. And I got that scalloped clip. We've got a point that's pretty much on line with slightly above center line on the handle. It is a large knife, 3 3/4 inch blade. Got some nice jimping here. Got some blue accents for the backspacer and the clip. Titanium milled clip, not transferable to the left side of the knife, unfortunately, for you lefties. And it's mounted so that it doesn't exactly go deep into the pocket, but you may not mind that. I think more and more people are getting along without deep carry clips. So seeing some advantage in having a little handle to grab onto. But beautiful grind work, nice belt satin on this. You can see those pretty pronounced lines there from the satin grind, and you can see some longitudinal lines on the flats. And we have the same grind direction on the swedge as on the main edge. And it's fairly high. It is a, let's take a feel here. It is a flat grind, near as I can tell. Definitely doesn't feel hollow. We can take a look and see what we see, but yeah, I'm thinking that's flat, okay. Blade stock, thick but not overly thick, therefore you get a pretty slicey edge. And we could certainly try that out, can't we? Because I've got paper nearby. And let's see, sink or swim. Yeah. I'd say sharp, but not extremely slicey. And that has everything to do with the factory edge and not the ergonomic, not the profile of the blade and whatnot. So let's see if we can wipe a little of that dusty paper stuff off of there. So we got a clean looking blade. And this blade, drum roll please, is in Magnacut. As you can see, clearly labeled there. Maxace on the other side. And Maxace seems to be making an effort to answer questions about their HRC, the Rockwell Hardness on their Magnacut these days, because as we all know, having Magnacut alone or M390 or S90V alone is not good if it's not being hardened up to its full potential. So they are stating 62 to 63, I believe I've seen, for their Magnacut. And that's darn good, because I think you're going to max out at around 65 for Magnacut, according to Laren Thomas and Knife Nerds, Knife Steel Nerds. Anyway, why don't we grab some quick measurements on this? Been having a little infestation of flying termites around here lately. I got the guy coming in a couple weeks to exterminate. So I look up at my light and I see a couple crawling around. Love it. 8.6 overall, we're going to say, with a blade of 8 3/4 and a cutting edge about 365, something like that. Really no choil to speak of. You got a pronounced front guard. We can put our finger on there. Looking at the thickness as millimeters, let's see what that blade stock is. 3.8. And inches, it is 0.15. Handle thickness, 1/2 inch. Weight is, close her up, nice smooth bearing action on this, by the way. 5.7, we'll say. So not a lightweight. Running out of room here. Not a lightweight. Is it milled out on the inside of the titanium handle? No, it is not. So this is why we're talking about, I think, about 190, 189 for this from White Mountain. It's probably one of the reasons it's not over 200 is we don't have all that fancy milling. We don't have handle inserts. And I'm going to give you a link to all the versions of this. Off the top of my head, I cannot recall if there are more versions. I think Maxace is offering them, but they weren't offered on White Mountain. Comfortable knife to hold at about 1/2 inch. Fairly tall handle. Beautiful thumb swale there. I just wish that jimping had gone out just a little further, but that's certainly acceptable. What do we have for an action? Pretty kind of pneumatic smooth. What I noticed is there's some nylon bushings in there up against the caged bearings. So I don't know of too many, maybe 1 or 2 smaller knives from Maxace that have bushings as opposed to bearings. So this definitely feels and looks like a bearing knife. And sometimes they will add the nylon. Sometimes they will add a phosphor bronze next to the bearing cage. This one definitely has a cage. I'm not going to attempt to look inside, but take my word for it. When I saw it and in the specs from Maxace, it did say that it was bearings. Okay. In a closed position, got a fairly tall flipper. I've seen taller ones. I've certainly seen shorter ones. The jimping is a bit smooth, but the platform there is adequate, that we have no problems closing or opening it, rather. Let's see if I can feel it. Nope. Pretty crisp detent. And I'd say it's just about right, not overly strong and certainly not too easy. We've got a hardened steel insert, pretty good size one right there. And we've got a lockup at about 40% roughly. Not too much that's fancy about this knife. And I think that gives it a nice clean look. And it's got an excellent profile on the blade there. If you like the Bowie style blades, really, really nice. Bowie, if you will, or Bowie. Southern folks like to say Bowie because Jim Bowie is a Southern name. He was a Southern boy. Let's take a look at another one that this reminded me of, and this is called the Rock, or just Rock. It came out a while ago. I think it might have come out, got a little bit of gunk here. These have this one's a stonewash blade. That's certainly a satin. This really has kind of almost a Persian look to it, and it's a bigger knife. I think we're closer to Could just be that the handle is longer, or almost 4 inches, a little shy of 4 inches, so a little longer blade. And this one is 9¼ overall, so a good 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch longer overall than the Orion. And the Maxace Balance M. They came out with this in a Balance K, which was K110. This is the Balance M for M390. And that's also a nice stonewash blade. Perhaps the smaller of the three, smallest of the three. No, we're right in the same ballpark size as the Orion. Yeah. Overall, yeah, 8.5. So right in there, same size. Way different blade, more of a drop point with an interesting kind of a cutout. I don't know if you call it a swedge. Got some bumpy jimping on the top, more or less decorative. And it is a liner lock with, I think, a titanium. No, steel. Steel on that guy. Are you steel watching? As Doug Markita would say. Very smooth action on the rock, by the way. Really, really nice. Big, 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 big blade. Nice feeling swale in there. Nice drop to the handle, you know. Feels very much like a sort of a Pinkerton Night Horse, you know, the Beyond EDC one that he came out with. Well, there is, again, the Orion. I think you get a lot of bang for the bucks here. If you like your plain titanium handle, something maybe you could anodize if you play with that sort of thing. Maybe do some little bit of sculpting in there if you're a modder. I don't know. There's a lot of real estate there on the handle. And everybody's been checking balances lately, so let's check the balance. It's a little slightly back from the middle of that finger groove. So feels nice. Feels very nice. And look at the handle left over when I grip it there. So got a good sized knife. Well, let me know what you think. That is the Maxace Orion in M390. No, Magnacut. In Magnacut at HRC, at least 62 to 63 in that range. So good hard steel. Might be something you're interested in. Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to give this video a like. I'll be back soon.